This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to be taking a look at the San Diego Comic-Con 2022 G.I. Joe Classified Series exclusive Dr. Mindbender figure. I've been sitting on this one for a while, and I know what some of you are thinking, like, are you crazy? People want that one. Why are you going to open it up? Because I feel like it, and I haven't done it yet. To be perfectly honest, I kind of forgot I had them for a while until I found them while going through some stuff, so there's that. If there's one thing that can be said though for Hasbro exclusives, they do tend to put a lot of effort into packaging, which is both cool and annoying. But on the front, we see Dr. Mindbender in all of his circus strongman glory. Boring side with number 43 on there because they numbered everything. Part of the whole FOMO thing that they try to push with the G.I. Joe stuff. On the back, it's still the same image, but it shows Dr. Mindbender grabbing all the stuff they needed in order to make Serpentor. And I like how the little weird DNA helix thing there kind of looks like a birthday cake. When we pull the cover off, it's just the same picture on the back. We have a double helix Cobra logo, which is kind of cool. And like I said, when we open it up, we get that really nice presentation of Dr. Mindbender with a whole bunch of equipment. Sadly, though, when you look at this, you also kind of come to the realization that they spent a lot of money to create the packaging that probably could have been a lot cheaper for the figure. But still, it's also designed so that you can put the stuff back in here. Because ultimately, this piece like this is actually a really nice display item. So let's go ahead and let's pull out Dr. Mindbender and let's see how well we can do pulling all this stuff out without damaging it. I am not going to take those little things out of here. Although I think those are supposed to represent the little vials that are being used on this little injector thing. Here we have a broken skull and a brain that theoretically should probably go in the skull, right? Although, let's be perfectly honest, this is supposed to be one of those like ancient skulls from that they were stealing DNA from. That brain should not be there. All right, so it seems like the skull or the brain is also designed to fit inside of this little jar. We also have a hand with some tubing in it. This looks like we are trying to create the zombies that would be later part of the G.I. Joe line. But also appears like it goes into that one, like that. I'm gonna put this skull together. It's kind of annoying. Actually, it doesn't really stay together unless you have the brain in there. Equipment-wise, we have what looks like an injector. And as I mentioned before, I'm thinking these are just supposed to look like little vials that would go in the ejector, but this one does not come out of there. Dr. Mindbender comes with a pistol. This actually does look like a new one, or at least I don't recognize it for any of the other ones. So that's pretty cool. He's got this little canister thingy, which attaches to the hose here. And I'm pretty sure I've seen this hose come with some other figures. I believe this is designed after his original weapon, though I don't know what it's supposed to be exactly. But you can hook that on the end so he can do a sprayer thing. But we also have this weird looking weapon as well that we can plug into it. And I still don't know what this is supposed to be either. Although this kind of makes me think that it might be some kind of a flamethrower. But now we take our Dr. Mindbender figure. We can stick the pistol right there in the holster. And it appears that this canister, let's go ahead and flip back to what I think is the original weapon. Can be attached to this little hole in his belt. And you can hold on to it like that. So he can spray people with whatever is in the canister. I'm gonna guess it's supposed to be some kind of a gas. I wonder if it's supposed to be some kind of mind controlling gas. Anyway, we will remove his weaponry for the moment. The other gun canister sprayer thing does have a pistol grip with a proper hole, whereupon that didn't. Ooh, hey, let's do this. Probably not what it's meant for, but still funny anyway. At least to me. Articulation-wise, well, first, let's go ahead and look at the head sculpt. I would say they did a pretty good job on that one. He's got lots of wrinkles, though. He definitely looks like an old man. That mustache always makes me think of like a circus strongman. And it does appear that the monocle is a separate piece, clear plastic glued into place, with a little bit of silver highlights on it. His cape is cloth, and it looks kind of, they did give it a more of a leatherish leather feel to it, which is good. Although, this here, the collar back there, looks kind of like to me as if they put it upside down when they sewed it in place, like it should have the same sheen as the back, but it doesn't. As you can see, it's there. Although I suppose maybe it's meant to, I guess you can rise it up like this. But even if you do it that way, I kind of feel like that should actually be forward also. But perhaps this is how he's meant for display. I don't have an original Dr. Mindbender in my collection. We'll drop the collar down for the moment, though. Articulation-wise, he has the G.I. Joe chicken neck. Head's on a ball joint, so it can spin around. It's got that little hinge, so you got a good up and down on it. You can look over and up, look over and down. Probably wondering what his tailor was thinking. We have an ab crunch, though when you do crunch it, the plastic on his metallic suspenders, I guess, would be what we could call them, do kind of malform a bit. And sadly, if you look at his shoulders here, you can see where the cape has left behind dye on the figure itself. And that shit just doesn't come off, so that's kind of sad. That's one of the problems sometimes that you do get with like cloth items. If not properly done, they will leave staining and marks on figures and plastic. But we can hinge up and down. Although it does get kind of caught on the top, there is a butterfly joint. And we can see even more staining on the figure when it's out like that. We have a bicep cut. We have a double jointed elbow here. If I can get the other joint to move. Got to be careful, this is an expensive figure. Although I was lucky enough to actually manage to get it, when they put it up for sale. The hand has a spin at 360, and like most classified figures, he has the up and down hinge on it. We have a waist swivel. However, this case, you're not going to swivel it a whole heck of a lot because the harness is attached to the crotch piece. And it looks like the bottom of the harness, the belt here, is in fact glued to the diaper. So you can spin him a little bit to the left and to the right. You can even jiggle him on the ball joint, but you ain't turning him all the way around without breaking something. We've got the drop down hips. You can kick out that far, give us a nice big old upper kick. Ooh, you can kick forward that far. You can only go back about that far without, moving the leg outward. We do have a thigh cut, so we can spin it all around. He's got a double joint in the knee. And man, check out that cut on the boot there, man. That is some serious fringe coming up the top there. I actually wonder how useful something like that would be in real life. That's just a style choice, I guess. We do have the boot cut, so we can spin it around. And this does seem like it's a really high boot cut. And I don't know if it's that the legs go further in here, or if this is the upper echelon of the boot, and that the no, it's got to be. They've got to go further down because you can see the hinge from the joint actually goes inside the boot too. So I'm going to take a guess that the thigh or the upper calf probably ends right around here, and then the rest is boot. We do have a hinge at the ankle and a spin. Now let's see about taking his cape off here. So we are kind of in luck that the only spots where we have the dye bleed is just on the upper arms, and maybe it's because maybe it's a different plastic than the rest of it. Or that is where the armholes are at, so that might also have been just tighter against there, because we've got it here on the upper part and on the hinge and a little bit on the butterfly joint. But this is how the figure looks without his vest. Dr. Mindbender is such a weird character. Overall, the look is good, though. I mean, for who he is, the character-wise, this is a cool-looking figure. Code name, Dr. Mindbender, Master of Mind Control. Dr. Mindbender was at one time an excellent orthodontist and a very kind and honest man, tinkering with electric brainwave stimulation as a means of relieving dental pain. The good doctor made the tragic mistake of experimenting on himself. He underwent a complete personality change and became a hateful, deceitful, and vain. Dr. Mindbender abandoned his practice and devoted all of his time to perfecting his digital brain scrambling into a hand-portable weapon system capable of reducing the most strong-willed individual into a cowering wimp. Dr. Mindbender doesn't think he's deluded. He feels he used to be. Now he has seen the light, or the dark, if you will. He feels it is his personal mission to bring the miracle of thought control to each and every one of you. Was his name actually Mindbender before the code name? Because if they know he was an orthodontist in his personality, how do we not know what his real name is? With San Diego Comic-Con this weekend, I thought it would be great to go ahead and review one of the previous San Diego Comic-Con figures, hence the Dr. Mindbender review this week, and, since I found him again. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully we can all get this year's exclusives as well. Peace and love.